Right. So here we are with game 8. You know, Magnus at this point up a game. Right. He up a game. And this game was strange, bro. This game was absolutely strange, but this is another legendary game. Another one. Another legendary game from Big Mag, right? So Magnus over here. So e4, e5, right? Knight f3. And then you see knight f6, the Russian. From the Russian. I remember when I saw this, I'm like, oh yeah. The Russian playing the Russian. Like, I mean, this gotta be Nepo game. Like, this gotta be him, you know, like, come on, Nepo, you know, big fella. And Fabiano play this too. So, like, oh snap. All right, let's see it. Then he plays d4, which is the stuff that I like. This is the newer lines. The old stuff is like knight takes e5. I even saw that with the Magnus Fabi in 2018. Knight takes, and then her whole world went crazy after he played knight d3 like we ain't never seen it before, because we haven't, and it is the world championship. But this is a move. It was just like, wow, he played it like, oh my goodness. Like he invented a move or something. But d4 here is the more modern day stuff. It's also cooler. There's cool theory to it, and white can get some very, very nice positions with this. After d4, knight takes e4, right? You could take here. There's some tactical stuff involved after takes. I mean, there's some crazy lines here. Like after knight takes, you take here. I mean, there's some nut stuff here that I can show you guys here, but there's some nut stuff. This is the one I like to do this one because I just, you know, my grandfather's towel, so I like doing that stuff. But here, you could actually take and play bishop d3 like he did. Bishop d3, after d5, defending the knight, then we just take on e5. And very playable position. Knight d7, getting rid of the knight because he's in the 5th ranked territory. Or he's just in black's territory. You need to get rid of this knight. So he does. Take, take. Black does, or white does the same thing. Knight d2, take, take. And then bishop d6. At this point, I'm like, this is about to be another draw. But Magnus up, though. Magnus is up. So I'm like, well, I mean, he's about to be another draw. Because, like, this is absolutely boring. But it did look cool, right? I mean, like, when do you ever see, like, you just want to stop and look at this? Like, wow. Like, y'all, really, how did y'all do this? How did y'all do this? You know, the whole D file is full, in fact. Yeah. Like, y'all had to try to do this, you know? I thought that was pretty, like, cool that they actually got that right. After bishop d6, castles, and then right here, this move actually startled me, but I actually was a fan of it. Here we go. If you didn't see it, here it is. Jan with the move, h5. Okay, big fella. Okay, and then h5, which is very interesting. I mean, it has the alpha 0 type S to it. Harry the H pawn, right? That kind of stuff to it. It's very interesting. I mean, that H pawn is like fire. I was like, yo, this H5 is like, whoa, what's the idea? But I just didn't think it was right because usually it works the best with like knights and stuff. Now, of course, his team, right? You know, the team was working on this, but it just felt strange without any knights. And like, this is not gonna work. It just felt strange. It was very strange, but and I remember Magnus looking at the board, you know, squinched up face, because he'd be like looking at the board like it hurts. You know what I mean? You see the face that he makes, his eyes be squinched up and stuff, and it looked like it hurts. You know, like H5, he was like really thinking here. He was really thinking right now. And after H5, he played a really cool move. Let me see how it compares to the engine. Yeah, I like that. I like that. He played something creative. I'm a very big fan of creativity that does not on the engine, but still works, right? And that move here is queen to e1 check. Creative, different. I mean, how many of you would have played queen to e1 check, right? Very creative move, right? And then after king f1, he plays bishop, king f8, bishop b4. Now the question is, why was this not played? I mean, I don't know. I mean, because how was this not played? Let me see. Oh, just bishop g5. Okay, I mean, I guess you get the file. Like, there's no big difference. There's really no big difference. Really no big difference, I guess. I mean, you could go queen e7 immediately, right? But then here, like, it's not that much of an advantage. You just got the file, which I'm about to take from you, or challenge at least. I'm about to challenge the file like I'm doing fine. Pawn structure the same. Bishops. I'm doing good. Black's fine. Black's totally fine. But he played king f8, which was baffling, actually. And the reason why it's baffling is because, again, plans, right? Plans and ideas will save you from, say, trying to study so much theory all the time. Plans and ideas here. Here's the plan for white, or here's could be a great plan, right? Okay, we're going to try to keep the queens on the board. Why? Because the king isn't castled. Your king is not castled. So, and mine is. So I'm about to like keep the queens on because your goal as black should be trying to trade, right? Get the pieces on. I'm trying to keep these queens on, make it complicated because your king is like loose looking and your rook is gross. What the heck is going on? What is going on? But then Magnus plays bishop b4 though, which is the whole idea of trying to break this up. Queen e7 does happen, and then boom, takes, and then queen d2. I mean, literally the same type of position. Rook e8, rook e1. And then rook h6, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is great for Jan. I mean, great for Jan is I'm like, he should be okay. He should be okay. Yeah, he should be able to get out of this. Then Magnus plays queen g5, which is a beautiful move, ties down the rook. If you move the rook, I can take on h5 now. At the right moment, because there are some like rook h6s, but I have queen e5. Yeah, I'm good. So queen g5, he plays c6, solidifying the position. And then after this move right here, watch this. Rook takes, bishop takes, rook e1. And then I stopped and I looked. And I looked at this position. I looked at white's position. I looked at black's. And then I was like, bro, Jan's position is like garbage. Like garbage. Bro, his whole, I'm like, yo, this position is gross. What the heck is this? Right? The bishop is absolutely terrible. Playing against each other. This rook is doing what, actually? This is hanging, kind of. And I got an open e-file. I think Magnus felt like, yo, I'm like winning strategically here. And there's no kill shot here, but like, I'm like strategically winning right now. And that's what I thought here. I was like, yo, he looking crazy. So Jan, like, I got to trade. And then remember, what was the plan? Keep the queens on. If we trade, everything's going to be fine. But queen e3 defends, hit the bishop, got a tempo, he moves it. And then h3 I thought was just clever. Okay, stopping maybe bishop g4. I don't really understand h3 like as much. h3 maybe he doesn't want bishop h3. Bishop g4 you're not scared of. Maybe just making look for the king too as well. h3 is just a nice waiting move. Right. h4 from Jan, and then this move from Magnus. I actually looked at b3 first. I remember looking at some analysis myself. b3 was the choice to play c4 eventually, but he played c4 immediately. Ivana probably said h3 was brilliant. Absolutely. Of course. Like, look at this move. Like, h3 is like, it makes look for the king. It makes sense. It's a waiting move, like your turn. And it stops bishop g4, but like b3 probably is one too as well. But this makes so much sense, right? You're trying to tuck the king. And maybe even make some look for the king. I mean, stop anything swinging into g4. But h4 and c4 happen immediately. I really thought he would play b3. Let's actually see what else is up here. c4, a4, not a move. Bishop e2, what? Gross. Garbage. Bishop e2 doesn't do anything. This is disgusting. Disgusting. That's the first move too. Bishop e2. c4. I thought this was great. I really liked c4. I knew this was coming, but like I didn't know it was going to happen immediately. And right here, this is where he started to collapse. Jan did. He took, and then right here, Jan just, I don't know what he was thinking about. This is where I think y'all said that he called himself, what, weaker than a GM or something? And then post-game analysis, he was like, yeah, it was just a blunder. Like, I think they asked him, right? They literally asked him, like, you know, what was that move? And he was like, yeah, it was just a blunder. It was like, dang, bro. It was just a blunder. Like, he played b5. That's it. Magnus pounced on him so fast. He smelt the blood in the water and did not let go. In fact, what's the move here? Maybe you just go here. Yeah, maybe you just go here. What's wrong with queen d6? Wow, Fabi said that Nepo played like a 2300 in this game. Dang. Disrespect him like that. Oh my goodness. That's the world champ challenger right there. Wow, let me see what the engine says. Okay, queen d6, move number 2. King g8, come on now. Come on now. That's a little scary. Plus, you're taking your king away from the center in a potential endgame. No, I'm not with that. And then a6, come on now. This is a family channel. Garbage. It's gross. Nobody's playing this disgusting move. It's absolutely disgusting. a6. Queen d6 is just the most logical looking. I think that makes the most sense. But he played b5, which was 100%. Garbage. It was a wrap. And that was it. That was game over. b5. Literally on the spot. Magnus found it and just started to mop up. And then I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. And then I'm like, oh, bro, this is over. After like calculating what happened after king g8, he takes, right? Because now they're hitting the bishop. Right, I'm up a pawn. You know, I'm feeling great. He missed the 3. Yeah, this queen was crazy and it's over. That's it. And it's over. Queen to d8. And then he moved the bishop back and he just up a clean pawn. By the way, your rook over here out in the wilderness looking crazy. Hey, we just gonna grab that boy and we just gonna move him off the board somewhere because you don't need him. Like he ain't doing anything. Right? He played rook d6. Oh wait, put me in the game, coach. It's a little bit too late. It's a little bit too late. He's not even attacking us. And I think I was talking to Liam. I was like, yeah, man, this is Jan just playing on because like he has to play on. Like he has to play on. He's not playing to win or draw this anymore. It's just he has to play on here. Like you have to play the game out. And then rook e4, bishop e6. Takes, right? And then we get this queen end game where this is just gonna be, technique for Magnus. Queen to c5. The problem here is you do not want to have a perpetual check on the dark squares. So watch how he takes care of that. But you do not want a perpetual check on the dark squares like this. This is Black's whole plan, is to live on the dark squares and get a perpetual. If you fail to stop this, you get a draw. If you successfully can stop this, and again, this is the plans. Always have plans, right? So he takes on c6 and allows one pawn to be taken. Then he takes with check. Now covering one check, it can allow another. King h7, queen e4 check, king g8, b3. Right, not caring about no checks, right? Because we don't care, we just sidestep. Tick on a2, check, and we can come back to b5, which he does, right? Queen f2, queen e5. So he stops the check once again, covering the dark squares. You have to. Queen to b2, he goes queen e4 check. I mean, it's just technique. Look at this. Queen here. I like this. It covers this. And I think this next technique was really good. He played queen c3, which stops queen e1. And it also stops, queen c1 as well. Because after this check, I think back here, the threat now is like trying to check here and then go back and check here. So queen c3 stops the check on c1. Queen f4, then when I go to g1, there is no more check. So now I could push, but he didn't. He played queen d3 check. I was definitely interested in b4 myself, but he played queen d3 check. And then he went to d1. So he's just playing around with him. There's a push available. Queen e3 check, king h1. And I think after taking, you just like, this is just winning. And, what obviously, can't hang the queen either. But you could, because, this game's over. Because, this is over. But he has to play on. He literally has to play on. So g5, d5, g4. h8, yeah, I mean, right, if you're going to go out, go out with a bang, right, Elfins, shoot, if you're going to give him something to talk about, give him something to talk about. Queen takes h3. Why not? This game is over. H3, queen f3. And this was a wrap. Yeah, this one's over. It's over. I feel so bad for Nepo. What a disaster. I mean, the psychological part there, man, after losing a 139 move game, then draw, and then play like this, we don't know what's going on. Hey, look, we really hoping that he can bounce back and at least, draw, stop the bleeding is what they call it. Because in a minute, I mean, Magnus can be hitting with white and hitting with black. I win with white, I win with black. And in this match, it'd be over. And Jan would be far away from World Championship stuff. I mean, he'll still be, going to candidates, obviously, but it's tough. It's tough. No time for draws. Yeah, I mean, he needs to, got to bounce back. It's tough. I feel very bad for him. He even apologized for his play in his press conference. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on him too, right? I mean, try as hard as this is to put yourself in his shoes. Challenger, playing Magnus Carlsen, right? You know, I mean, you could play 138 good moves and mess up on 139, and it's a wrap, right? A lot of pressure on him though. Yeah, tomorrow is a rest day. Yeah, I forgot about that. Tomorrow is a rest day, guys. So round 9 is when again? Right here. The 7th. 7:30. Oh, perfect. Let's do. Yeah, 7:30 in the morning, 4:30 Eastern. I mean 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be next round is oh wait. No, yeah, it's game 9. December 7th, guys, yeah. So December 7th is the next game, round 9.